A big thank you to the awesome folks over at Hulu for giving me a chance to check out one of their Hulu originals hitting their platform on October 11, and that is called Mr. Crocket. And I've got to say, this was a great time. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Welcome everyone to the channel. Thank you for sparing your own time out to check out my spoiler-free review of Mr. Crocket. So now let's get into a couple of specifics in terms of the director and the actors involved. So we've got Brandon Espy in a feature film directorial debut, and we've also got starring Elvis Nolasco, who plays Mr. Crocket, Jerrika Hinton as Summer, and Aidan Gavin as Major. This is set in around the 90s, around about 93, 94, and Mr. Crocket has this TV show on this VHS. So that's a throwback to the 90s. Immediately, I was born in 1990. Anyway, he comes out of these TV sets and he kidnaps young children while also brutally murdering their parents. However, when he kidnaps a certain child, this child's mum is going to do everything that she can to track down her son and also stop Mr. Crocket. I watched this last night with my partner, Emma, and she didn't know anything about this. I said, hey, look, I got this screener from Hulu. Do you fancy watching this with me? And she's like, yeah, sure. And after finishing this, we both had a great time with Mr. Crocket because this clocks in at less than 90 minutes. So it's not exactly asking a lot of people to sit and watch through this and finish this one. And also, I think it's going to be really popular because I feel as if this is based on a short movie. And for context, I've never seen the short. But even without that prior knowledge, I feel like Mr. Crocket could, in a way, become maybe a Halloween tradition for a lot of people to watch. It's certainly one that I will certainly check out again because I really enjoyed a lot about this. Let's get into the performances. So firstly, Elvis Nolasco as Mr. Crocket is fantastic. He knows how to balance that very tethered rope of the line between comedy and seriousness, right? So sometimes you could be like, well, the comedy didn't work, but the seriousness did, or vice versa. No, either way, he owns the role, and he feels as if he was kind of born to play Mr. Crocket. I really felt at times this guy was really menacing, but there are times I was like, well, he's kind of like huggable or laughable, or you kind of want to root for him, and I was like, should I really be rooting for a killer? I mean, I guess I shouldn't be, but I kind of am. The leading lady who we've got at the helm is Jerrika Hinton, who plays a character called Summer, and we've also got Aidan Gavin, who plays Major, who is her son. Now, I think that Jerrika Hinton does a really good job in this mother role. Definitely relatable in terms of if your child or your grandkid, whoever you're looking after, if they've been a little bit of a pain in the bum, you can definitely relate as to why she gets frustrated, why she really cares about her son, but at times you're just trying the best to do what you can for your child. But if your child is acting out, it's like, well, how do you manage that situation if they're not listening to you? And sometimes, can you regret maybe some words that do utter out of your mouth? Yeah, definitely. Even if it's a child or not, I could certainly relate with that message and feel like, there's maybe one or two things I've ever said in my life and I've been like, I really wish I didn't say that, or I wish I could take that back, or that might be forgotten, but may never be forgiven. Also, I love the aesthetic that they've got at play. The set locations, the set builds, it all was just fun, imaginative, crazy, creative, scary, blood-wrenching, and just wacky. And that's the best way I can describe Mr. Crocket, because this VHS player and this little library hut that they have outside the house, I don't know what they're called, we don't really have them here in the UK, but watching this VHS and seeing some of the practical effects that they were managed to pull off was really, really cool. I give the filmmakers props, and the makeup department, special effects departments, VFX, everything. I give them props for what they were able to pull off here, because there's a lot that I was like, wow, that's a really interesting moment. Okay, this is something a little bit different. Okay, now we're going to a little bit of a homage of other horror movies, but that's fine. If you can do a homage, that's cool, as long as it fits into the tone of the story that you're telling. Now, if you're wondering, well, Mike, do you have any negatives? Because you're giving this movie a lot of praise, but is there anything wrong with it? Yeah, I would say maybe one or two things. Now, they're not really massive negatives, they're more like little nitpicks here or there. I feel when we get into the third act, kind of more second, third act, there's a character that's introduced, and I get what they were coming for, and I get why that decision was made, but I feel as the payoff wasn't the best. Also, the ending kind of left me conflicted a little bit. Like, I liked it, it made sense, I get why they went that route and that decision, but the choice they make at the ending in the kind of final few shots was maybe a decision that could be explored. Of course, they use mostly practical effects, but there is a couple of CG moments. There is a few moments here that might stand out a little bit and be a little bit goofy, or the CG is a little bit cartoonish, but in overall, I generally felt as if it fit the tone pretty well. So Mr. Crocket hits Hulu October 11th. Are you going to check it out? Are you going to skip it? Let me know down below in the comment section. Personally, I recommend checking out this movie. My overall score would be a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you guys for taking your time to check out my review. If you haven't signed up to my Patreon or you didn't even know about it, well, links down below in the description box. You can join today from only £2 per month, and big thanks to all these awesome legends who are part of Patreon. Now, in the meantime, if you haven't seen these videos of mine, we'll have a little bit of a deep dive and check those out. Till next time that I see you guys, I'll be seeing you later.